Black Clover, did Magna keep Dante's magic power even after defeating him? To prove whether this is true or not, we are going to show you things that you may have overlooked in the last 3 chapters. The reason for this is because Magna said the Soul Chain is a one-time only spell. Without Dante's magic, he will just be back at the beginning, unable to compete with his rival Luck. So today's topic is Black Clover, the real purpose of the Soul Chain deathmatch. Here in Yunami. Yes, you heard right, there's a small detail about Magna's secret flame magic, the Soul Chain deathmatch, that many of us have overlooked. Well, it's actually not that small. Magna said it's a one-time only spell. One-time only is either something that is only available once or that it will only happen once. It was never further explained, so we will break it down for you. If it is really a one-time only spell that can only be used once, then all that training in the past 6 months is worthless. Of course, Magna has learned a lot about mana, but knowledge alone doesn't make him strong enough to keep up with his rival Luck. That just can't have been the purpose. The spell name literally ends with deathmatch. It sounds like a spell with high consequences. After all, there has to be a reason why you can only use this spell once and then never again. That must have to do with the effect of the spell and with it the possibility that both souls could possibly have been permanently changed and not just for the fight. It all starts with Magna and Zora appearing in front of Dante. Magna said that he will defeat Dante all by himself. I thought at first that Magna was just trying to prove that he could beat Dante all by himself, but maybe there was more to it than just simple pride. We will talk more about it in a moment. We then see a little flashback of Magna and Zora in the Black Bull base when they both watched the fight between Asta and Yami vs Dante. Magna wanted to help defeat Dante, but he and Zora knew that he had not yet completed the Soul Chain. This can be interpreted in 2 ways. First, the trap spell itself is so complicated to write that it takes months to prepare and Magna just wasn't finished. And second, Magna couldn't control the spell yet or simply didn't fully develop it. At this point in time, it was not possible and not even worth risking to use the Soul Chain even when it means the possible death of his comrades. This is important to note as it is a very strong indication that this is actually just a one-time only spell that Magna cannot simply waste if not yet mastered. He was even ready to risk the life of his comrades. Back to Magna vs Dante. Magna threw a fireball at Dante in which he hid the Soul Chain trap. The trap has been activated and the deathmatch has begun. Immediately after the trap is placed on Dante's chest, we can see how the trap basically pulls his magic power into the Soul Chain. On the other hand, Magna has activated another trap on himself, but unlike Dante's body, his own body shows a very complex set of runes. The difference between what happens on Dante's and Magna's body is that while the runes of the trap on Dante's chest cause Dante's body to draw his magic power into the Soul Chain, the runes on Magna's body do something we may not yet understand. It is definitely different to Dante's body. Perhaps the real purpose of the Soul Chain deathmatch is not to begin a fight with equal magic power, but it could be compared to something like a ritual, where Magna not only balances the magic power for that one match, but along with the runes acting on his own body, Dante's magic power permanently manifested to Magna's initial magic capacity. We don't know how mana and magic really works in the world of Black Clover, but we do know that it is a very broad and complicated subject with huge possibilities. We know for example that magic can be transplanted, copied, enhanced, reduced, stolen, and much more. A spell that directly manipulates Magna's mana DNA with the help of a complicated set of runes that he has prepared for 6 months, in which it creates a connection to both souls, is therefore not unlikely. How it works is that the magic of Magna and Dante is put together and then divided equally. Due to the huge difference in initial magic power between Dante and Magna, Dante loses almost 50% of his own magic power. It is interesting to mention that Dante has not only lost his own magic power, but also Lucifero's. But that could have something to do with using your own magic power to control the devil's magic. Before Yami continues, if you already enjoyed the video, please leave a like, it really helps us a lot. And consider subscribing with notification bell activated. Now to Yami.
And here's the important thing. Magna said that the Soul Chain is a one-time spell. Obviously this makes sense that Magna cannot use the ruin-based technique as easily as the people of the Hot Kingdom, who can easily create and manipulate ruins in battle with no problem. This is exactly what Zora described. While the people of the Hot Kingdom use rune arrays immediately even during combat, low mana people like Magna have to prepare these ruins in advance because they have difficulty actually manifesting ruins in the first place. We see Magna even use a special pen to write these ruins down. But because of this, people like Magna and Zora usually have a better grasp of how ruins really work and what they do with the mana itself. That's because they literally study the subject and give everything they have for every single rune. While luck can create runes without understanding what's going on, Magna focuses on the creation and function of each individual rune. This results in a much more complicated rune set, and therefore the effect is much better. However, as mentioned, they need to prepare this in advance, which basically means that Magna is now, well, useless again. But not only does he have to prepare the spell, Magna specifically mentioned that this is a one-time spell. When you consider that this has been all the work Magna has done over the past 6 months, that's supposed to bring him to the same level as luck, then it just can't be that Magna is now useless again. And here we have to ask ourselves whether the soul chain is really a technique that only serves to weaken an opponent, or does it serve another purpose that Magna just has not realized yet. Zora told Jack if they attack, it will mess up the spell effect. What does he mean by that? Do you remember when Magna made it very clear that he was going to fight Dante all by himself? The more I think about it, it seems like Magna has to be the only one fighting Dante. Not to prove anything, but because of the effect of the Soul Chain deathmatch. Something has to be going on between these two, so it is important that no one interrupts them. Something that may go beyond a simple temporary magic equalize. Here we have to consider the possibility that Magna did not use the spell to simply defeat Dante, but to make himself stronger permanently. And that's why he cannot use the soul chain a second time, because his soul has already been permanently changed. The only reasonable and logical explanation why Magna cannot use the soul chain a second time is that Magna's soul is no longer able to use the spell, which means that the effect of the soul chain must have a permanent side effect. Perhaps Magna did this to manipulate his own internal magical power, which is what the runes did on Magna's body. While the soul chain linked him to Dante, it was never mentioned that the effect of the soul chain was temporary. If Magna and Dante shared their magic power permanently, this could explain the reason why Dante can no longer control his body magic, and it could explain why it is only a one-time spell. The 6 months of training would then not be wasted on just one fight, and Magna would have equalized his disadvantage of a very low internal mana capacity with half of Dante's magical power. Magna can begin exploring his true magic abilities, creating more powerful spells, and most importantly, keeping up with his rival Luck. We have already explained about the soul chain in the last video and found out that as soon as Magna faces 2 strong opponents, for example 2 mid-ranking devils, he will have big problems. In this case, the soul chain technique would be useless. Firstly, because nobody is allowed to disturb the 2 connected parties, and secondly, because even if he's able to weaken one of the mid-ranking devils, he will still be weaker than the second mid-ranking devil. Other than that, Magna just cannot use runes that quickly. Given that Magna didn't have the time to learn other new techniques in the 6 months as he was busy to master the soul chain, it is almost impossible that the soul chain deathmatch could only have a temporary effect. Magna will now face even stronger opponents. How embarrassing would it be that he first impresses Luck and Asta and then is completely useless again? For Magna to really get stronger, there has to be more to the soul chain. Do you think Magna stole Dante's magical power permanently? Let us know in the comment if you agree with us. And if you like this video, don't forget to smash the like button, and if you are new to our channel, make sure you subscribe with the notification bell turned on. See you guys in the next video. Yami out.